We're back with Trail Talk Broken Arrow Edition. How you doing, sir?
Let's go, Jamil.
All
it's
right.
Broken Arrow race week, so I'm hyped.
It's coming up quick. So here we are, Tuesday, June 14th, and we're going to have some cool visuals here in the background. This one's from 2019. I'm going to be heading back out there. I'll be out there Friday, Saturday, Sunday of this weekend for all the Broken Arrow hype, and there's some exciting things happening this year. This race, of course, takes place up at Palisades, Tahoe, the start line of the Western States 100, 1 week before Western States 100, so it kind of builds the hype. You can see they're right in this really cool village. They're heading right up a little bit of the opposite way of Western States, so they've got a huge prize purse this year, $50,000 prize purse that is new. They had prize money before, but it's even more than it ever has been. And we're ready to go.
Yeah,
we're going to talk about it.
Prize purse is exciting. You want to get some of the best athletes in the country and in the world to show up out in California. $50,000 prize purse will do it.
Absolutely. So we are going to get into Broken Arrow here in a couple of minutes, but we always want to start this show off, Aravaipa Trail Talk, talking about our company, Aravaipa Running, and what's going on with us. So we just had a double-header weekend, and it's perfect because Matt was in Flagstaff at Big Pine, Bryce behind the studio booth over here, behind, what did I say, behind the computer? I don't know.
Sure.
He was out there running the race. He can talk about his experience.
Oh boy, yep.
Yikes. And then I was out, spent my whole weekend in Colorado Springs at the inaugural Ring the Springs race. So I would love to talk about that and some of my impressions from the event. So it was a packed one for us.
Yeah, we had a lot going on with blackout night runs the Friday before Big Pine. Big Pine starting that Saturday morning, both those races up in Flag, and then Saturday into Sunday having a race out in Colorado Springs. So it was definitely a full weekend. How was your experience out in Colorado Springs, kind of helping facilitate some of the stuff out there, but also being out there to kind of witness the town or the city's first 100 miler?
Yeah, I mean, it was great. I hadn't had a chance to run most of the course prior to this weekend. I mean, I still haven't run most of the course, but I did get to course mark a little bit and sweep some of the sections, so I got a good sense of everything. And I'll tell you, it is a spectacular race. The first half is way up into the mountains. It is this incredible area. You climb up over 11,500 feet. Great views of Pikes Peak back there, overlooking the city. And I think the biggest theme was definitely it took people longer than expected to get around this course. Like, it was just really tough. So those that did cross the finish line in the 100, like, kudos to you. Anyone that towed the line, but those guys went through a big experience to get to that finish line. There was a decently high attrition rate, majority due to the heat wave. So we had record hot temperatures in Colorado Springs. It was, for most of the day, very little cloud cover in the mid-90s, just brutal at altitude. And a lot of the folks who are from Colorado, they're not heat trained like we are here in Arizona. But I'll tell you what, even for me being up there, it was warm.
Yeah, I mean, they just got a good amount of snow within the last month up there as well. And so for it to go from, kind of dumping snow to in the 90s, I could see how that would be pretty tough for a lot of those runners. And I think a lot of the stories that I heard as well was kind of along the same lines as what you're sharing, is that the course was deceptively hard, especially in, that early bit going up to Mount Rosa around 11,500 feet before kind of getting a tour of all the kind of more municipal city parks.
Well, I think even the city part, granted, you are connecting some of it on some bike paths, but once you hit the trails, it's all these rocky bluffs, so it's really cool rock formations, and there's some great forested sections, but a lot of it is kind of more exposed, and then it's all really windy, and there's rocks, and it's kind of technical, so it's a little slower than you would think. Like, you can't just get into a rhythm as much as you would like to, especially for the 100 milers, then they're there after dark, and it all kind of starts adding up. But we did get A little bit of rain rolled in Saturday night. There was some lightning in the distance, so we kind of saw it all, to be honest. It was pretty great. It's definitely on my list to run it, so we'll see what I get into next summer, but I might have to run this thing in year 2.
I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Bryce, how was your why don't you give us a little bit of info on your experience at Big Pine this weekend?
So I don't run in Flagstaff very much. Most of my racing so far has been in the desert, so haven't had much experience outside of like Colorado a couple weeks ago, running in pine trees and stuff. Course was great. Felt the elevation immediately. Just like felt like I might DNF in the first mile. Those thoughts went away. Everything was great, and then I took a wrong turn into the finish line with about 3 miles to go. So ended up getting a DNF on it, but it was a good training run. And I think I'm going to go out for redemption this week at Hypnosis out at Estrella.
Ooh, we might be seeing the first monsoon storm of the season. They're calling for it to roll in sometime this weekend. I think 30% chance of rain right now, so
I would take it.
Could be fun.
Yeah, could be real fun.
It can be a little crazy, the dust storms that roll through here, but then if you can get past that without everything blowing away and it rains, it becomes super nice.
Yeah, I mean, I think that most of the state needs some rain.
Oh my
right
gosh.
now. A lot of the trails down here are looking super dusty.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we can talk about it in a second, but I would love to hear your experience. So this is your first time at Big Pine, the race itself? Or have you been out there? Oh, no, you were there last year. I'm sorry. Duh. With Rob. Yeah, duh.
Rob
My bad.
7K last year.
I know all this. Yes.
But I was out there helping capture some content for social. It was really hot. And most of the lead runners were running a little bit too fast for my liking. So if we could slow it down a little bit
for you to keep up with them.
I could keep up, but not and feel very good about it, you know?
Yeah.
I'm in my early 30s now. The body just doesn't work the way it used to, and so chasing Rory Moynihan right off the bat with no warm-up or anything like that, not one of my better decisions, but we made it work. I came out injury free, thankfully.
Perfect.
And we're on to the next one.
Nice. Well, I guess on Sunday we had a fire breakout in Flagstaff, that's what we've kind of been talking about internally, and just you've seen it all over social media. But it's devastating and incredible, kind of how fast this fire blew up. Like I don't know if I've ever seen anything like it. It's insane. And you were up there, so you saw the conditions firsthand and how this thing moved.
Yeah, I mean there's like so many thoughts currently, right? Because it started in an area that I think most people who run in Flagstaff would say are like likely some of their favorite trails, whether it's the Weatherford Trail up into Snowball that's now decimated, or whether it's some of the things heading towards the inner basin, or more in like the Dry Lake Hills area, like a lot of just like world-class trails that are just being burned, and this being kind of like the second time this year already, the third time in a couple of years that kind of this general area has burned. But the biggest thing is it was so windy. And so that, I think, was like a big problem, not necessarily on Sunday as much. Like they were still able to get airplanes in and things like that, but the wind picked up even more on Monday, yesterday. So they weren't even able to like fly planes in to provide any sort of relief.
And when you're dealing with something that huge, like all the fuels in that wilderness area, they've never had fire prevention work done on them ever.
Yeah. And so it's crazy. It's like, I think that it's caused like multiple fires to kind of break out now. So there's the pipeline fire, which is, I think the last I saw was up over 20,000 acres.
In 2 days.
There's also the Haywire fire over near O'Leary Peak, which is one of the 4 largest peaks in Flagstaff.
Part of the Flagstaff Fearsome 4. And you sent me the screenshot of, I don't know if we can pull it up somehow, but of like basically the fire coming up to the fire tower.
Yeah. So one of the interesting things is like a lot of like kind of the mountain areas in Flagstaff that are like more national forest or wilderness stuff like that have webcams on them. So Like there's a webcam on Mount Eldon, there's a webcam on O'Leary, and there's some more on like the outskirts of town. And the one on O'Leary was like, I don't even know if I have the word to like really describe it. Like it was like devastating. Like you can just see everything burning via like a webcam on like a tower on the peak of O'Leary. And to see just like, the forest burning in that area is like, it's got decent vegetation, but the soil over there is more like old volcanic ash.
It's like cindery,
Yeah, because it's an old volcano crater over there. And so for like, just so much devastation to occur over there was crazy to see, like, almost firsthand. So, it's like brutal to, like, from my apartment window, I can just see the smoke and the plume clouds and things like that. And it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking for, like, everyone in town because this fire is, like, so much closer to, like, city proper than, like, the tunnel fire was earlier, where, like, that started a little bit further away from Mount Eldon and
quickly moved
away from like city proper. So you had like a finite number of communities that needed to evacuate. Whereas this, like if the wind, shifted south, all of a sudden, that thing is burning on like the southern and southeastern faces of the city. And you're talking kind of a whole different thing. And, you know, from my apartment, I could literally see the fire, not the flames, but like the smoke as
billowing black smoke
as like Doyle, the like east face of Doyle was just like getting crushed.
Well,
So
and
it's crazy.
so the whole, basically the entire peaks of, I mean, there's an active fire, but it's all closed now too. The forest is completely closed. And I think the most heartbreaking point, for runners, people that love accessing the mountains, is like, when is it going to ever reopen or recover? Like, so much of the mountain trails in Flagstaff are lost. And with the monsoons, supposed to be more monsoon activity than normal this year. Like, if we're going to see devastating floods, all the roads, all the trails are going to be washed away for a long time.
Yeah, we already kind of saw that
the museum
summer
fire.
After the museum fire, where like the mountain was basically flooding down some of the roads in Flagstaff. There are like classic trails up in that area that got so devastated last year by floods that they're basically unrecognizable still. And so, it's devastating, obviously. And it'll take like a big kind of community effort to like bring all of that beauty back, and it'll take a lot of time and a lot of work, but it's kind of the hand that we're kind of dealt with currently,
Yeah, we got some images there, just insane, like the flames ripping through. It's just
and
crazy.
Obviously, like, we complain about the trails being burned, but it's also not like lost on us that we hope like everyone who had to evacuate, that they're all safe, and that hopefully their homes are still intact, and that the firefighters who are helping like mitigate this situation, that all of them are staying safe as well. Like, that obviously is way more important than whether trails will be reopened in the next few years, or like how long it's going to take. Like, everyone's safety is obviously priority number one, but I think just like as outdoors enthusiasts, we have to like do a better job at handling the preventable situations. Like, this was very preventable. Like, this was man-made or like kind of self-inflicted by us as a human species, right? Like, someone did this. So it's like we have to do better, whether that's fire safety and education and outdoor education and stuff like that, because this wasn't like a lightning fire or something like that that's like kind of out of our control in certain ways. This was
a guy lit toilet paper on fire is what I heard.
Yes.
It's just no words for that.
None that
no good words.
None that my grandmother would.
None that would
proud
make
if I
this
said.
podcast.
Yeah. So it's devastating, and obviously our hearts are out to everyone in Flagstaff, whether you're having to evacuate or you're on standby or anything like that. And I know that the community will pull together to kind of get through this as Flagstaff always does, you know?
Yeah. Well, and for those of you wondering how this might affect the Flagstaff Sky Peaks, so it did burn a good section of the Flagstaff Sky Peaks 50-mile course, which went around the entire San Francisco peak. So those are actively burning right now. Most of Waterline Road's burned. God, it pains me to say it, but like Inner Basin, Lockett Meadow, over like Schultz Pass area. So it's all, we're not going to be able to use those this year. I can guarantee you that. The erosion that's going to happen, there's no way it's going to be fixed by then. So I think our best case will be to still provide a 50-mile option. It just is going to have to stay on the west side of the mountains. Hopefully the fire doesn't head that way in the next week or two. So.
Yeah, no, most definitely, and hopefully there will be a lot of volunteer efforts to, once everything is under control, to help kind of reestablish some of those trails and to kind of get some more preventative measures in place, because even before this fire, there were already, in my mind, some concerns with some of the trails on the 50-mile course that had burned.
2019.
In 2019, that area had burned, so the trail had gotten like a lot of flooding from monsoon season last year.
And that'll happen. It's happened in 2020 and 2021 and then 2022.
Yeah.
I mean, over time, like it's going to start to, trees are going to replant themselves and kind of like secure that soil again, but it does take many years for that to stabilize. It takes a lot of trail work and efforts and erosion control to get back in place. So, well, we can move on to, I guess, our next topic.
Happier topic.
Yeah. As you can see, the images, like it's just, check it out. It's incredible in a bad way. So, what is next? Well, we have, just like Bryce was saying, as far as Aravaipa, we'll kind of wrap that stuff up. We've got Hypnosis night runs and rides out here at Estrella Park this weekend. If you are coming out, just keep an eye on the weather. I would say it's extremely rare for us to cancel due to weather. We always plan to have everything staked in super well, even if there's a windstorm that blows through. If there is lightning in the area, we could do a delayed start or a hold at some point. So just kind of, watch out for the race director and their instructions. So.
Yeah, and then last thing I have before we move on is the Run Steep kind of 4th of July inspired merch. That's all available on the Mountain Outpost. So shop.mountainoutpost.com should be your home for kind of all your gear and apparel needs surrounding all your favorite Aravaipa brands, whether it's Run Steep or Cocodona or Javelina 100. But all of the 4th of July inspired apparel is live.
Nice.
So
I'm
go
loving
ahead
it.
and order that soon. It's pretty awesome. Pretty excited how it turned out. So shout out to Christina downstairs in the printing department for the wonderful ideas and bringing this to life.
Awesome. All right, Broken Arrow time.
Broken Arrow time.
All right, let's move into it. We've got the Broken Arrow Skyrace this weekend, and there's going to be 5 races now as part of this whole thing. So we've got the Vertical K on Friday, and then the Iron Face Challenge, which is new. You heard about that one?
Have not.
Really?
Let me hear about it.
Oh God.
I mean, you're the king.
Are you just are you playing it up, or
No.
you really haven't?
No, this is not a bit.
Oh, this is so great. This is why I love this
cool.
podcast. Yeah, this is new. If I can get it pulled up here, maybe Bryce can get it pulled up. Go to the Broken Arrow website. Oh my gosh.
Well, I mean, there's technically then 6 races, right?
I might have missed one, but
52K, 26K,
yeah,
11K,
yeah, VK,
VK,
Iron Face Challenge,
Iron Face, Kids Run.
Yeah, okay, Kids Run.
Don't
there
forget
is a kids race. You're right. So there is like 1, 2, 3. Oh, and there's the Triple Crown.
If you
do all of them. So if we go to probably races and the Iron Face Challenge, so this is wild. This is like a multi-sport. So there is a Via Ferrata.
Oh wow!
So they're combining the Via Ferrata and trail racing in segments. I think it's limited to 50 people. If we can keep it going down, Okay. So I'm like kind of relearning this too, but it looks like there's maybe multiple via ferratas that you can do. If you scroll down a little bit more.
Jamil, do you think you could explain what a via ferrata is?
Via ferrata is basically I've never done one. So it's like basically a cliff face, and they have like cables and anchors into the mountain. And so you clip on, and then you're like traversing these ropes as you go along the way. Oh. I'm sure there's probably maybe some photos if we go down a little bit more. Yeah. So there's like cables.
What?
You're going across this. So it says 5.75 miles. You climb 2,000 feet from the valley floor, I think all the way up. And you have to wear a climbing helmet, a harness.
No
and
way.
If you go down a little bit more, they'll probably tell you there's like multiple time sections. So there's an uphill section, there's a downhill section, and a scrambling section that they time you. I think they time you on the Via Ferrata section too. So you have to like do that fast.
That sounds terrifying.
Yeah. So this is the inaugural year of this, so we don't really know exactly what's going to happen, but we will certainly be keeping an eye on it.
Interesting.
I think you can wear, standard running shoes, but they time you on 3 sections, so it's a new type of racing experience. Okay, so they have that. 11K is on, or the VK is on Friday, the 52K is on Saturday, 26K is on Sunday. I believe the 11K is also on Sunday.
The 26K is part of the Golden Trail National Series.
Yes, for U.S. and Canada.
U.S. and
Yep.
Canada.
Yep.
11K is Saturday.
Okay, it's Saturday then. Wait, does that make sense? Oh, okay, because...
So 11K and 52K are on Saturday. So that would make sense.
Okay.
Because if you're going to run, you wouldn't... They'd be different people.
Well, then how did what's his name do all 4 last year? Did they have that on...
Did they have 4? I thought they only had 3 last year.
Logan Williams did like all 4 races. Because I think the way that they had it, the 26K and 11K were on Sunday. So he like had to finish the 26K under a certain time to then start the 11K on time. But maybe that was a special one-time deal. So anyways, yeah. What else can we talk about? There is crazy amount of prize money going on.
They'll have a live stream.
There's going to be a live stream of the VK on Friday and then the 26K on Sunday. So 2 live streams similar to last year. They got Dylan and Corinne, I think, on the mic again. And I will be working for Solomon this weekend, getting some content coverage for them and their channels. There is going to be a big Solomon presence as it's sponsored by them and it's part of the Golden Trail series. As far as, let's see, what else?
Do we know if there is snow on course this year?
I don't think so. I think it's been pretty dry.
Gotcha.
They have been posting some content on their social channel, course marking, and I think it was clear.
Okay.
Yeah, I know some of the imagery we had earlier was from 2019, which was a really, really high snow year. Super fun, but kind of crazy. Last October, they held it this last October.
Yep.
If you remember that. So
fall.
it was kind of a weird, they moved it because of COVID. So different time of year, no snow on course then either.
Apparently there are 15 spots remaining in the Iron Face Challenge right now.
Oh, so they didn't go to capacity.
Not yet.
Interesting.
You trying to hop in?
I'm working, so
Okay.
It would be cool. Maybe if the schedule works out properly, but I don't know. I think it's like right at the same time as the VK, maybe.
Oh, we have
because they would probably go.
someone in the chat ran the course recently. Just for instance, I have the course on Friday last week. There's definitely snow from Squaw Peak to the top of Shirley Lift.
Okay, so there is reportedly some snow on course, which will be really fun.
That'll be cool.
Nice. We do have to shout out, we are going to do this, and I guess we're going to recap it next week.
Yep.
Free Trail Fantasy. We're doing it again. It's competition. So we're going to do all of them probably, right? You can put your picks in for the VK,
3 races.
for the 26K and the 52K.
Yeah, sure. Why not? Let's do them all.
We're gonna do them all. So yeah, you can go and check it out. They have all the runners in there. It's a pretty stacked field. A lot of big names coming out for this one. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the fields are stacked.
Should we go through some of them?
Yeah, let's definitely go through some of them. What race do you want to start with?
Good question.
VK, since that's the first one.
I've just got it pulled up on the Free Trail Fantasy website.
Yeah, that works. Oh my God, they have so many runners in this race. This is insane. I didn't realize how many participants there are.
Is this the VK list, Bryce?
Yes,
So
it
there are
is.
436 people doing the VK.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
And just seeing some of these names too. Andy Wacker is going to be in the VK.
David Sinclair.
Darren Thomas, David Kilgore, the Beast Coaster.
Darren Thomas, Patty O'Leary.
Well, Matthew Logan, who I think you just had mentioned earlier, who did all 4 races, right?
That was Logan Williams.
Oh, Logan Williams.
We got Morgan Elliott is in it. Hunter McIntyre, he's an OCR guy. That's the thing. When was it? Maybe 2018 or something, 2019. There was a lot of like OCR crossover at this event, which I think it sounds like that's the case again this year.
I believe Allie Mack is also in both the VK and 26K.
Defend her titles.
Defending women's champion in the VK. She was not the champion in the 26K. I think she finished 8th last year in the 26K after winning the VK and the 52K.
Okay, yeah, that's right. Yep, you nailed it. So she's, just doing the VK and the 26K this year. She hasn't raced since Broken Arrow last year, so she's going to rock it. Janelle Lynx is also going to be back. She
win the 52K last year?
I think, or the 26K. I think it was the 26.
She won the 26K last year.
So she'll be back. We got Annie Doobie. She's I know her from November Project Phoenix years ago, but she's made quite a name for herself on like the Spartan scene, the OCR stuff, obstacle racing. Yeah, Logan Williams is back. Yeah, I'm gonna pull up his ultra sign up here because I'm pretty sure that's what he did last time. Yep, he did the VK, the 52K, the 11K, and the 26K last year. So it was possible, which sounds like it's not possible this year to do all of them.
It would depend how start times lined up, right?
But if you're running the 52K on Saturday, you can't.
He ran the 11 and the 26K on the same day.
Yeah, so that's how it was.
That's how
I think it started at like 6 or 7 a.m. for the 26K, and he finished. I think it was like 10 minutes later.
Yeah.
So it was like 2:30. He had to finish under 2:30 to start it on time. He was like so wrecked. He's like sprinting, like running hard to finish, and then he just did this victory lap with a bunch of the Solomon guys. It was great. Great stuff. I feel like a lot of people are doing both the VK and 26K. That's probably a popular combo.
Yeah, towards the top of the list, there are a lot of names I recognize from the 26K. Matt Lipsy, Andy Wacker, David Kilgore, I think, Patty O'Leary.
Lauren Fleshman's doing the 26K.
Will this has she done much trail racing?
Lauren?
Yeah. I
She's
feel like she did something somewhat recently.
Yeah, I forget what it was. Ashley Brossavan is also doing it. This is the 26K. Renee Metivier. I think she's won the trail marathon championships at least once or twice. You got Janelle Lynx, of course. Olivia Amber, who just won one of the world mountain running races in Ireland recently. Jade Beltzberg from Sedona here locally will be out running 26K. Kat Bradley. Regina Lopez.
And then on the men's side, you've got a number of top returners as well in the 26K with Andy Wacker, David Sinclair, Max King all being in the race. And then I believe Kieran Ney is also running again, and he was 9th place last year. So,
Well, yeah, and he qualified to go to the World Championship via this race last year. You got Max King, Mario Mendoza, Stephen Kirsch.
yep, Stephen Kirsch.
Vargos are on the list, but you said that.
Yep, the Vargos will not be running per sources.
Ooh, we got Nick Clark in the mix. It's a classic one.
Drew McCumber. He, I believe, is coached by the Roaches, maybe, or friends with the Roaches. But
Matt Bellis is on the list here.
Ooh, we got some favorites in the chat. Let's see. Shad is asking if he's allowed to do free trail fantasy if he's part of the field. Asking for a friend.
Because then you can you could somehow influence the results if you're out there mixing
like
it up.
Insider trading.
Mm-hmm.
well, I mean, that's my question: is Debo going to be participating in this weekend's free trail when he's on the commentary desk? You know, he's got insider information on.
I don't think as a staff of Free Trail you can participate. It's like government employees can't win prizes or something. It's got to be something like that.
Let's see, Skylar's shouting out Patty on the men's side.
Oh, wait, Skizzlefresh is in the chat?
Skylar Hall.
Well, I got to put this on. Got myself a little bucket hat here. What do you think, Matt?
I think we need those in the Mountain Outpost store ASAP.
I just happened to find one of these this last weekend, so
Yeah.
I just thought I would rock it for at least a few minutes here. Shout out to Skylar in the chat.
Oh my gosh, I have no words.
You know you love it.
I do love it. I don't know if you and Skylar's friendship will stand the test of time after this bucket hat endeavor here. But
We love you. We love you, Skylar. Should we jump into the 52K?
let's do it.
Aravaipa's own Noah Doherty is running.
What?
No kidding.
Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yep.
After race directing a big weekend up at Big Pine,
Absolutely.
you got
He's
his
gonna.
heat training in.
Yeah, he definitely will be fine on that end. That's for sure.
Skylar says, I hate everything about this.
Oh man. Who do you got? Who do you got in the 52K? Well, I guess you don't have to give away your pick, but there's definitely a few names that I'm not familiar with that just have a couple results. There's always the chance of the dark horse.
Always a chance.
Well, Seth Ruling is back. He is
Yeah, I
the
mean, he's-
defending champion, and he destroyed the field last year. He won in 4:24 this last time around, and that was like 16 minutes ahead of second place.
Yeah, I mean that the men's field is really solid. With
Matt
obviously
Daniels.
Seth Ruing, Matt Daniels coming back, Mario Mendoza, Jackson Brill,
Michelino
Michelino
Sinceri.
Sinceri. I mean,
Probably not
Eric-
as
Eric
stacked as the
Lapuma.
26K, but still pretty stacked.
no, yeah, definitely still really solid on the men's side.
Ooh,
Let's look
okay.
at
The women's side, we got Brittany Charbonneau, a.k.a. Funny Runner, right? She's running.
Makes me giggle.
We've got a little giggle in here.
Georgia Porter.
Georgia Porter just won Crown King Scramble. She's from Flagstaff. Kimber Maddox, who just set the rim to rim FKT in Grand Canyon. Laura Hamilton. She was out at the Solomon. What do we call it? The Solomon Athlete Week I went to in Moab last year.
Natalie Sandoval, the
Yep.
Phoenician. She dominates a lot of the local races here, so it'll be awesome to see kind of how she stacks up on more of like a national caliber field here in the 52K.
Well, she just won Whiskey Basin 60K outright last month. She was also, I think, was it one slot or 2 slots away from a golden ticket at Black Canyon 100K. She was 6th for women. And then she did do the 52K this last October and was 8th female. So I think she'll be looking to improve upon that.
Yeah, it'll be awesome to see where she ends up. Incredibly talented runner here.
Awesome. You got, Kat Bradley. There's definitely a host of other women. So I guess, like, wrapping it up, get your picks in on Free Trail so we can see how everyone stacks up. We're going to try and do better than we did at Zagama, which we all basically bombed out
I
of
think I was
collectively.
basically last. I think I got Killian, and that was it. So shout out to Killian.
There's like one guy that didn't pick Killian, and he got
you?
dead last. No, I did. Of course I did. I got him for the win. That's how I got my points. Him, and I got second. I think first and second, right? But
I'm excited. I'm excited for the live stream, obviously.
Yeah.
I think that Broken Arrow did a really good job last year providing the coverage, so I'm excited to follow along.
yeah,
Again
first
this year.
attempt, and it's just going to get more dialed.
Yeah, for sure. And then, I'm obviously stoked for these races. Probably most excited for the 26K just because there's a little bit more on the line there in terms of being part of the Golden Trail National Series. But
Yeah.
all the races, the VK is obviously super exciting as well because it's short, high energy type of race. So do you have any predictions without giving away your picks or any general thoughts on either of the races before we move on to the fun stuff, to the additional fun stuff?
I'm just rooting for Noah.
What if he podiums?
Oh, yeah. It's almost a lock.
I hope that you pick him in your Free Trail fantasy.
No, I mean, all I'll say is, like, yeah, if you see me out there, come and say hi. I would love to meet all of you out there that are participating, and it's just great to have, trail racing back in full force. Going to be a lot of hype, I think, going into Western States as well. This kind of, there's people that'll just stay out there all week, so it'll just be great to connect again with people.
It's going to be awesome. I'm excited.
Any other questions in the chat or comments about Broken Arrow specifically?
Let's see.
Otherwise, I will mention, just if you have questions in general, this is a Q&A show, so please drop your questions. We'll do those at the very end of the show. All right, I'm going to take this hat off now. You want to try it? No. You're like, no.
Aaron in the chat says, don't sleep on Matt Lipsy from Pennsylvania. Blasts
Ooh.
everything on
Yep.
the East Coast. Vertical kilometer and 26K this year. And I was looking at his ultra sign-up results
He
earlier.
hasn't lost a race in 5 years or something.
There's a lot of first-place finishes. I had him in my top.
Is that you're giving away your picks, Bryce?
Hey, I didn't say where I put him.
Okay, he's no stranger to VKs. The Whiteface VK in 2019. Wow. All right. Anything else? Or are we going to move to the next segment of the show?
Joseph Gray will take the 26K if he's running.
There you go.
He's not on the entrance list currently.
That was
But
such
there
a
is still time.
that was such a close finish last year. That was
Between him
insane.
and Darren,
Darren
right?
Thomas, it
Yeah.
was seconds. So here's my request to the live stream team. We need a drone in the air for the final descent because it could be a close finish again. I'm expecting it. So we need that drone shot.
Well, for sure. I mean, 26K is just such a short
It was
race
so
that
quick.
You're gonna have people bunched up. Maybe not that. That was epic.
Well, there was 4 or 5 guys within. I think I had the top 4 in sight, coming down that final hill at one point, where it was just Joe, Darren Thomas, Andy Wacker, David Sinclair was they could all see one another. It was insane, absolutely insane.
Ooh, got a question here. Can you go over the Triple Crown field? I don't know.
Oh, do they list it?
I don't know if there's a way to pull that up.
Let me see. Yeah, let me take a look.
Also, Matt Lipsy hasn't lost a race since the 2018 Run the Rut.
Yeah, and he did terribly there. 28th place. Okay, so the Triple Crown does have an entrance list here. There's 90 people doing it.
Is that on the Broken Arrow website?
It's on the Ultra sign up to get that. So yeah, there are 90. The biggest names I would say we got Jade Bellsberg, Kat Bradley, Yvette Ballesteros, apparently from Mexico, has some strong results at the Golden Ultra stage race. So who else? I don't know. That one is not as stacked. So I would say it looks like people are
not as many on.
I would say the VK 26K combo is going to be your most popular setup for your mountain athletes. It's kind of the sweet spot where you have Saturday as an off day for you. You can kind of recover and give your full effort on Sunday for that 26K.
See how many people were in there? 90.
Yeah, 90 are doing all three.
Nice.
So. They got 46 people doing the kids run. Top seed is none other than Solomon McMahon.
I smell a conspiracy here.
That's great. We got a 2-year-old doing it.
Doing the triple?
No, doing.
Oh, it's like what?
We're on to the kids race now.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, we've moved on.
Do we know what the distance of the kids race is?
I don't know. I'll find out and let you know.
Thanks. May have to.
I mean, I think it's it might just be, I don't know. Like it might be like through the village or something.
Like a V half K.
Yeah, just like half the VK. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, that's Broken Arrow for you. So it's gonna be a good one.
We'll have a little bit of a wrap up next week on how we did, as well as our Western States kind of breakdown.
Yeah, we did a little pre-show on some stories to watch, but we're going to get into more of the maybe predictions a little bit and talk about the field as it develops. Oh, as a quick aside, I've been moving up the Hardrock waitlist.
Are you going to get in or what?
I actually am now feeling nervous and scared, and I think it's going to scare me into training for once. Yeah.
What?
Because I want, like, if I get my name called up, like, I'm gonna run that thing and I want to finish. I don't want to completely bomb out. So I'm 4th now, but guess who's ahead of me? My brother. And did you see what he posted on Instagram?
Yeah, so it sounds like
you want to pull that up.
Well, your brother's in currently.
Nick, right? Oh yeah, so and the way they've chopped up the wait list, it's now kind of like whatever division plus by gender.
Yeah.
So I'm in the veteran pool, so those that have 5 or more finishes. Yeah, so Nick is in. So if Nick withdraws from the race and doesn't run.
His last post?
Yeah, if you could put it on the screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like now. So he got a PRP injection due to a heel bursa issue. He hasn't been able to do more than like 2 or 3 miles every other day since Ram Party.
Where he
Bryce broke him. Well, Jesus, brutal.
I'm sorry.
But I'm just saying, like, if Nick can't toe the line, then I move up another spot. There's also, I think it's this week, there's a service form due for everyone if you're an entrant or on the wait list. So usually there's some movement because people forget to turn that form in. So that might eliminate someone ahead of me on the wait list or who's in the race right now. That's close. And then not everyone who is ahead of me on the wait list will show up in town either. It's getting scary.
So you should definitely...
I should definitely do some training in the next 5 weeks. Yeah. So that's my story. That's my Hardrock story. Ready for the next segment? I am.
I've seen nothing.
All right. So if you're new to the show, we did this last week. Rapid fire. These are just like weird off the wall stories having to do with running.
Mostly.
Or some things that Bryce found interesting. So we're just going to react to these live in real person, in real time. I can't talk.
Have we thought of a name for this segment yet?
The roundup? I don't know.
Quick round. There's quick takes. There's been a few.
We need a name for this segment, all you who are watching this. So please let us know if you like this segment. If you want it to continue, it should have a name. All right.
So this first one, we're going to kind of piggyback off where we left off last week after discussing the 100-mile, or basically ultramarathon on a cruise ship.
Yeah, we did talk about like what would it look like if you were running like on the track on a cruise ship in the middle of the ocean while it's moving.
And Chris Warden in the chat had mentioned that Corey Reese had done it and posted on Strava, and we found it.
And of course, he ran 100 miles on a ship.
Yeah, 100-miler on those ways. So,
But what
Activity has been flagged.
you'll notice is it's actually 336.59 miles because the ship is of course moving while he's doing this, but his moving time was, or elapsed time was 27:47, and if you zoom in, you can see what it looked like as he was running.
it's just real wiggly.
Because he's like doing laps, correct?
Yep, as
Yeah.
the boat's moving. So this is on his way from Los Angeles to Alcatraz. And it's just like that for a really
Did you
long
see his
time.
minute per mile pace?
Yeah.
4:59 for 336 miles.
Look at that elevation change, though. Not a foot.
0. All right. Well, we know that the Strava iPhone app is extremely accurate to elevation change.
48,000 calories.
Good thing they have an all-you-can-eat buffet on the ship, right? Or let's hope they did.
So he was saying that he did this more for fun, but there's also a setting where you turn off your GPS, and it will calculate it a little bit more accurately as far as like a workout goes, as far as your
Using like
distance.
the accelerometer or something.
Something like that.
Got it. All right. Well, I'm glad we have closure now on the cruise ship ultramarathon side of the world, side of the sport.
Yep, that needed to happen. Let's see, what do we got next? Oh, this was the Stockholm Marathon. Did either of you see this?
No.
Nope.
So Stockholm Marathon, these are the three overall leaders.
It looks like they're about to turn around. Did
Well,
they go the wrong way?
They were sent in the wrong direction.
Oh my God.
And
Aravaipa.
and they keep running, and then this is where they said, no, you have to turn around.
Oh, they're so pissed right now.
I think they went a kilometer in the wrong direction, I want to say.
Oh, he's telling them off.
And I think they all, like, that one of those three still won the race overall.
They're just hopping curbs on the motorcycle. There's no course markers. Wow.
Welcome
Yeah.
to road running.
That is like my worst nightmare as a race director, is like having people going the wrong way and having to like chase them down.
Oh, they were sent the wrong way by
A
somebody.
volunteer. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, that is like the worst case scenario, is like
Yeah.
your
It's like
volunteer.
You sent them the wrong way. They didn't
Yeah.
miss a turn. You actively told them.
It
to go
has
the wrong
happened
way.
before.
So next up, this happened this weekend at the Buffalo Marathon. I don't know if I think he won it overall, is what the story is saying, while pushing his 2-year-old son in a stroller. He ran a 2:33 with a stroller.
That's legit. He's got his GoPro hooked up there.
Yep.
He's got the bike helmet on the kid. That's good.
Paw Patrol. Shout out to Paw Patrol.
And there's apparently a record for pushing a stroller on a marathon, I
Yeah,
believe.
by Callum Neff. I
Yep.
believe, right?
Yep. Like
Yeah.
2016, and he was seconds from it.
He
He,
holds, like,
Oh, wow.
Callum Neff holds basically every
For like every
stroller
distance
record
from like
almost.
5K on up.
Yeah. Love it.
what else we got? There's Nick.
And we were talking about this shoe last week, and I found this post. Yeah.
Your boy Scott Drake. This account is amazing on Instagram.
Yeah. I was going to this kind of inspired me to talk about the meme accounts. There's a lot of meme activity in the ultra space, let alone the world, but your boy Scott Jurek is a pretty good one. And then now there's a your boy Hal Kerner one as well. Have you seen that one?
No. I think just
Ya boy-
normal Hal Kerner is enough for.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think yeah. It's pretty good. I think the your boy Scott Jurek is maybe a little better. Now I'm gonna get roasted saying it here because I'll be the next one to get destroyed. But I'm trying to think which is a good one here. I don't know that. Like this one was decent. Marco Olmo, I think, was the first guy that ever won UTMB. Just like The good old days.
Yeah.
And then maybe the
City
most,
Walk from the dollar store.
yeah, go to like, I don't know which other ones are good. Maybe the most recent one, there was like a Courtney one. It's like an Office reference. She just pops up out of nowhere.
That's
Anyway.
pretty good.
All right.
Let's see. Oh yeah, I read through this one. This is one like a Reddit find, ultra running. So I'm curious as to what race this is, but he's 3 days out for a race they're training for. Yada yada yada. Apparently he talked to the race director. He emailed the race director asking about timing. The race director said no for the 50 mile, but yes for the 100K and 100 mile.
I didn't understand that. Like you're not going to get a finished result if you run the 50 miler?
Or they have like a stopwatch.
Or you just get it's like a pass fail. Like yes, you finished. No, you did not.
Yeah, you Y or N. There's no times. It's just it's a Laz race or something. But basically he just like offered to bump him up
For free.
Yeah. So this guy's like
and
trying
then
to.
they DNF.
Oh, so this was this. I saw this today when I pulled it back up.
Oh yeah, because he kept updating his post. 95-degree heat.
DNF'd at mile 36. But he's only 22, and he learned a lot already from his first 2 DNFs. So on to the next.
Yeah.
It's promising.
So there you go. That's what happens when you listen to Reddit and you bump up. I don't know.
I would have taken the pass fail.
Yeah. So yeah, if anyone has any more insights into what race pertains to,
Seriously,
we're not sure.
I saw this it's just some good old downhill running. I don't know if you've seen this before.
Is that real?
Yes.
Are you sure?
No. I'm like
No,
The way-
I'm like
no way
9.
that's
I'm over
real.
90%.
Yeah.
Sure.
The way that it jumped over the craggy rocks,
I think it's real.
right there, boom, boom, and then it launches.
I don't think it's real.
I think it's real. It's like one of the best edits I've ever seen.
It's going it just looks so fake. Right there.
I don't know. I'm skeptical hippo over here.
Well, we'll have to research this further.
We're gonna have to.
So yeah, may or may not be real. I think it's real. My vote's real. I want it to be real. This is relevant and local. This is a few days back. 3 in a row hospitalized after hiking Camelback.
Like in the same day.
Like the same group of rescue workers went out for
my
somebody, rescued somebody, got back down, went up, rescued somebody else, and they got a third. So it was like.
So is this a PSA? It's hot, and
Maybe
Camelback is a extremely challenging hike in the middle of town.
Yeah, maybe more of a PSA, I think, on that.
Go to like Papago if you want something chill.
You probably want more than just like a water bottle. Or
Camelback is a serious hike.
It
And I
is.
don't think people realize that. They probably find it on like a top 10 list or best things to do in Phoenix when you're from out of
They
town.
watched a video of you running up and down it 4 times.
Like it's no big deal. Yeah. It's scary, man. Like we were part of a rescue one year, like trying to find this kid that went up there, and yeah, they found him like 4 days later. It was like dead 100 feet off the trail.
Yeah,
Sucks.
that does. So yeah, just more of a PSA, but I thought it was relevant. I was able to find another weird race.
Ooh.
On more of a positive note.
So we had the cheese rolling race last week.
First was the cheese rolling. This one.
What you got for us?
It's hard to pronounce. I don't know if that K is silent. Knaresborough bed race of 2022. So this actually took place this weekend. Get the TV up here. In the UK somewhere, I believe. And so
Sounds right.
the first piece I saw on it showed like these crazy, wacky, like parade-looking like cars that people fabricate. And then I clicked on the video that was like a GoPro upload that was from like posted a day or 2 ago. And this thing is like built for speed. Like they're not messing around. But this is like a first-person.
Sponsored by Garmin. So this is a bed?
So this is what the bed race. I mean, there's a parade. So there's a parade where they do all the wacky stuff.
This
and
looks
then-
like a bobsled team about to go down
Yes.
the.
I mean, pretty much.
Let's go Striders.
And so they just start cooking. And I think they try to get like the lightest person possible inside of the bed. Big quotation marks around bed.
It's
And
just a seat.
They're like in a hammock, so it counts as a bed.
I think
Huh.
she's sitting down, but like suspended or
Yeah.
strapped in.
Yeah, it looks like there's some straps holding them.
But yeah, so I think it's a 5K loop, and it's interesting. They get caught behind some people and they have to pass
I
them.
like that they have the heart rate and the
They've got to pass them.
speed
Yeah,
data.
these graphics.
power meter.
They got the Garmin plug in here,
The map.
Yeah.
map too.
But yeah, there's a pass here, and then at the end there's kind of like a little surprise that I wasn't expecting.
So when they say bed, they're meaning like a bed you would sleep on.
I mean, technically you probably could sleep
Okay.
on it.
I don't get it. I just want to see the pass.
I thought it was going to be a little bit different than this.
Me too.
Oh, are they just like blocking them off?
They block them off for a
Yeah.
while. They do get past them on one of these streets,
Oh yeah, here we go.
and then they get
Oh,
past.
here
Dude,
you go.
people are
look at
lined
him- look at
up.
this lead
There's a
guy
lot of
go.
people.
They are lined
Oh.
up. This is crazy.
Did you
What?
see that lead guy?
Is he
Huh.
pulling it?
Oh yeah.
He jumps out and starts like pulling ahead.
Watch it when he goes to make the pass here. He's the guy on the front right.
Okay. Because they hit that turn pretty hard. It's a super sharp
Yeah.
turn.
And oh, here we go. He sees they're taking the inside line. Oh, look at him go.
You guys
Look
are-
at this
This
guy.
guy?
Look at him go.
Oh, that one. Oh, he goes out in front to pull him.
Pulls him.
Look at that heart rate. They're working. 182.
And they make the pass.
And then
They have an air horn. I love it. The person inside.
It's like a bike horn.
And the person in the seat has the bike helmet on, but no one else does. I guess if they like lose
Oh, and then
control.
they're getting passed again.
yeah, this is a few minutes later. And then here's the curveball that I wasn't ready for. So they're running. They're almost at the end. If you look at the mini map, they're like right at the end. And then you have to do this.
What?
What? What?
So they have to float.
What?
They have to be
They're
able to float.
swimming?
Yeah, they have to be able to float. And
Oh,
this
the bed floats.
yeah.
Oh.
I think so.
It's got like pontoons under it.
Yes. Which is
I'm
why they're
so confused right now. What?
And so in order.
And then
to
they
finish,
still have to push it up the hill once they get across.
Yep.
They're just full on swimming. It's like super technical too, right?
Yeah.
The thing obviously has wheels, right?
Yeah.
As well.
Could you imagine? They're just dragging it through the city streets on pontoons.
There's just like sparks coming up.
Yep.
What? So now that we've seen this first person view, can we see like a side shot? Because it's hard for me to still wrap my head around what these things look like.
Yeah.
That was wild.
Oh, that was great. And then they make a volunteer pull the thing.
Well, so there's also a parade, which is what is going to be this one, and those are not the same.
Oh yeah, there's just a lot of parade videos.
Yeah. Oh, this looks good.
The official video here.
Parade.
North Yorkshire.
Here we go.
Hmm.
So
So some of them do look more like
it's more of
beds.
a platform than a bed.
Oh, okay. Oh, so there is a platform. You just couldn't see it.
Yeah.
They probably had like a really efficient one.
They just had like milk jugs tied to it for that flotation.
So yeah, the great Knaresborough bed race.
I love it. When can Aravaipa have a team participating?
I mean, we better start preparing now get some designs. We
Oh,
can
they're
probably
the
fabricate
Striders.
some stuff with some laser cut. Whoa.
That was
There-
that same group.
There's a figure. Oh, this is the figure eight section of the
Oh,
course.
that's
Hey, there's our
dangerous.
group.
Oh.
Is there a light?
Oh, is there
Yeah.
like a wipeout section or
There's a light, it looks like.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I don't.
oh
The light's not changing.
No, the
No,
light's
no,
not
no.
changing.
wow. Yeah, they're like we want some crashes.
Yeah.
This is sweet.
I'm sure at the end they'll have the water part, huh?
Oh, that's right. I forgot about the water part.
Best part.
It doesn't look super comfortable for some of the bed riders. Some of them look really
Some of the people
concerned.
swimming are like, I don't know if I'm gonna
Well,
make
some
this.
of these are like kids.
Yeah.
Most of the kids are lighter, you know?
Yeah, but like there was this one little girl who looked like she was crying.
They're sinking.
Look, this girl
Capsizing.
has like her helmet down over her eyes so she doesn't have to look.
None of those kids
That
are
is,
smiling.
this has got to be one of the weirdest races I've ever seen.
How would you rate this compared to the cheese race?
I mean, they're both good. It's just different. This makes it though. If it was just through the streets, it wouldn't be that impressive to me.
Oh,
This is nutty.
He's holding his
buddy.
breath.
Who thought that it would be a good idea to cross the river at the end?
Who thought that it would be a good idea to strap your kid in there? Like, oh man,
Let's see.
Nice.
Let me
That was a
take look
good
at
find,
chat.
Bryce.
That was
Thank you.
good.
Way to go.
Thank you.
We need more odd races. I guess the Iron Challenge might be the odd one next week. Hopefully there will be a recap video.
we need to find a free
Yeah.
weekend to put something on ourselves.
Is that the pieces of paper strapped into the bedding thing? Is that the IKEA flat pack instructions?
Well, it does look like an IKEA cart.
Some of them for sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
When will Aravaipa do that? This is way safer than cheese racing.
Yeah.
Like that one person.
Well, they're
broke
wearing
their
helmets
ankle.
at least.
Yeah, they're wearing helmets.
You're tying a kid up who doesn't know how to swim.
It's fine. We've got lifeguards.
Here, let me push you through this river. Sounds great.
Oh man. Well, have you seen some of those Red Bull events where they have these carts and they're going down the steep
It's like boxcar
street?
racing, right?
Maybe, yeah. And they're like doing jumps and they just fly out of the cart into hay bales. That's good stuff. Similar but different.
So what do you think? Should we wrap it up?
We got anything else, or is that about it? We can do some Q&A if there's any more questions in the chat. Otherwise, yeah, we'll probably wrap up this week's show.
I can, real quick. It's a spicy topic, but we could talk about Lael Wilcox.
Oh, yeah. While we solicit some questions, we'll
Yeah.
talk about this one. So do you want to give us the rundown? I don't know if Matt knows about this one or not.
Yeah.
I don't.
So Lael Wilcox is an endurance mountain bike rider. She does like really big events. She's very good at them. Recently, her latest one was the Arizona Trail fastest known time, which she did supported. No, she did. Did she do unsupported? Is there a difference when it comes to?
Yeah,
the
so
Arizona
this
Trail?
all kind of roots in the fastest known time kind of thing, but there's also specific rules for this event, which is the Arizona Trail Race. So mountain bikers have been doing this for a number of years, probably like well over 10 years or more. But they're basically racing the length of the Arizona Trail. It's a modified route because you can't go into wilderness. But there's no official race you sign up for. You just kind of do it on your own. But there's like a code, so to speak, of like how to do it, like what the style is. And I think it's supposed to be a self-supported style, meaning you can't take aid. You basically have to carry things with you, or you can pick up things in towns along the way. But you can't get any sort of outside support. And recently they've made a change to the support rule saying if you have anyone meet you out there and they don't even give you anything, they're just out there, it's like emotional support, just that you know that they're there, and that's an advantage. And this goes with even having like a photographer follow you and take photos of you. So
Is that what
that's
happened in the? Can you break it down?
So
for
yeah,
me?
break it down. Like, what do you have that recap? If you scroll down, maybe,
Yeah.
or if you just know it, I forget the specifics, but I believe that they were posting on her Instagram every day, like status updates, like pictures of her.
They did a little documentary.
Yeah.
And it's on YouTube right now. It's really good.
So yeah, someone went out twice a day to shoot video and photos. So, basically, the director of this race, because she broke the record time. But he said in the rules, it says rule number 2, no media crews and So no record will be acknowledged if a media crew is used. So basically, she broke the time, but broke the rules. So there's, I guess, either she's DQ'd or there's going to be an asterisk.
Yep.
And people were getting fired up about this because she claimed the record, and then a bunch of people, I think the current record holder, came out and said, you violated the rules. This is not in the spirit of the sport and what we're trying to do here. Like, they want it to be them alone. Basically, no one can post about it unless it's yourself.
It's almost like Fight
How
Club.
you doing, Matt? Loving it? You loving these rules?
Okay, I will say that, like, if it's a known rule going in and you violated said rule, then there should be consequences, right? Like, regardless of how idiotic the rule is.
Of course.
Like, if you violate a rule, then you should be punished. But these rules around this emotional support and this lack of media coverage is just, like, mind-blowing. Like, are we seriously trying to take outdoor sport back to, like, the 70s when no one cared? We finally have athletes who can make a somewhat sustainable income, a livable wage off of this sport, and have helped do a lot to grow it in a lot of ways, as have many others who came before them. And whether it's this situation or whether it's other FKT situations, to say, no, we think it's best in the best interest of the sport to not cover it and to not share these stories because that's where it ends.
Right, which I disagree with. I think that's moving in the wrong direction. Like Jeff Garmeyer, he set the unsupported record on the Colorado Trail, right?
Correct.
So he couldn't receive any outside support. So what did he do? They filmed a documentary about him doing this. Dylan did.
Yep.
And they were not allowed to engage with him. So they would go and kind of hunker down, and then they would just watch him walk by, and he just walked by. I think people are obviously concerned they're going to cheat, but like you said, I guess they're saying they've come to the point that even that person, knowing that person is going to be there, is somehow helping you.
But where does it end? Can you not run with a watch? Can you not listen to music? Like, there are all of these things that then you could classify as support. And so where does it end? And like,
well, that's why there are the 3 classifications. But yeah, you're right. Where does it end?
And I understand, like, yes, we need to have rules, but I think that every rule that we in the general space decide to implement should be rooted in what we're doing going to be in the best benefit for the sport. And limiting the amount of stories that can be told seems like that's not in the best interest of the sport overall.
Well, just to say, someone like Lael or whoever sets the record does this incredible performance. You can't share that with anyone. You can't even have an image that is taken by anyone other than that athlete to show, like, the human achievement of what happened. You can't inspire people in that sort of way or that sort of avenue, which to me is disappointing.
Yeah, very.
Yeah.
Like, name another sport where that is a thing.
So I think what is going to happen is there's going to just be the split in these efforts, right? There will be these people that want this unsupported or self-supported experience where you can have zero outside imagery, and then everyone else will just go to supported.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Like, okay, I'm going to do it in the unsupported style where I want the challenge of I don't have a van following me. It's a purist sort of a thing, right? Where, like, I'm carrying everything with me, but I'm going to end up needing to go into the supported category because I want someone to make a movie about me doing it, or I want a photographer to capture the experience so I have, like, some memories of this thing, you know? Which kind of sucks, but...
Yeah, because then you're still comparing, like...
Then you're comparing yourself with the person that does have the van support.
You know?
So you need, like, a 4th category.
Or we just need to stop making rules that don't make sense. Like, let's
Yeah?
let's think through rules before we just are like, oh, this is it. Someone complained, so we're going to implement this rule. Like, let's think through stuff a little bit before we make decisions that may or may not be in the best interest of the sport. That's all I'll say.
Well said.
I don't
What
know
about
if
you,
it was
Bryce?
well
What do you
said or
think?
not, but it was said.
No, I agree with you. I mean, I agree with what you're saying about like where does it end as far as like what is psychological support. It's kind of like an interesting term. It's almost like you're trying to enforce an honor system. It's already going to be like an honor system. Like Jeff Garmeyer could have went out in front of like on the Colorado Trail, hit a bunch of Snicker bars in the bushes, and then come back. Or Dylan could have given him Snickers bars, but either way, you're enforcing an honor rule.
He could have dropped a Snickers bar. Whoops, fell out of my pocket.
Right.
A million things.
Enforcing it either way is not going to prevent it.
Or you could have no one no one publicly posting photos, but they could still be out there.
Right.
Hiding stuff or whatever. Like, you're right. It's all honor system anyways. So,
Yeah, I agree. Do they allow Trail Angel support? I don't believe so. As far as
I mean, I would say in this instance, we would just have to go look at the rules of this specific race, to find out. And then I would say for almost everything else, you have to go by the guidelines of fastestknown.com. That's currently what exists in that arena.
Yeah, I think that's all I got. That was the last spicy topic I had.
Got my blood pressure up, Bryce.
Sorry, man.
I mean, rules are good, but yeah.
Well, and again, in this situation, it was an established rule that you knew going in. So if you broke it, you should be disqualified.
Do you remember
or whatever?
Do you remember what she said post event? Like,
I don't think
did she say like, oh yeah, I knew the rules, but I wanted the media person there anyways, so fine, take the thing away?
Pretty much, I
Okay.
think. And I watched the documentary too that she has on YouTube, and she wasn't stoked that they didn't give it to her, but I think it's something maybe she half expected.
Yeah, if you scroll a little bit, it sounds like she at least knew shortly thereafter.
She was informed mid-ride that the photography was at odds with the rules and decided to continue with her initial approach and accept the asterisk.
So I think the people of this race, they're just saying, just call it a supported FKT. Granted, the race she was doing doesn't recognize supported, I guess.
That's what I was confused about. So that makes sense.
So it's like, basically there's this race, which it's not a permitted event. So it's just kind of like an honor system race anyways. But then there's also an FKT as well. So it's like, I don't know. I guess you can be listed on this website or this website.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. Is it actually a race? Like, you don't race anyone. You go out and you
Yeah,
ride
can
it
you
on
type
your
in
own.
Arizona Trail Race?
Yeah.
Like, I know it's called the Arizona Trail Race, but like, she's not out actively.
It would be like
competing
against someone else. Aravaipa Running being like, we are gonna host the Arizona Trail Race. Okay, we're not getting permits. This is all on your own, but here's the rules to live by, and we'll list you on our website.
Yeah, that's what it says.
It's a bike packing race it's an unofficial challenge. So, and you can do the 300 or the 800. So they're not permitting. So technically,
So it's an FKT.
it's an FKT, but
On
like
this page.
it's like a sub FKT. It would be like us being like, yeah, like I said, we could just put it on our website that we're doing the Arizona Trail.
Oh yeah, they have it.
So it's
split
like,
up. You buy a different bike type.
yeah.
Interesting.
I tried to do the Arizona Trail 300 on foot once. This race.
Really?
Did not go well.
Did you start from Mexico?
So they actually don't start from Mexico. They start from Parker Canyon Lake.
Oh, okay. On the
Yeah.
other side of
After the first segment. Yeah.
Mount Wrightson.
It's
It's not Wrightson.
No.
It's Miller.
Yeah, after the Huachucas. So it's that lake. They start there and they end at Picket Post Trailhead. So I was going to do and the bike course differs from the hiking trail. So I was going to just do it all like kind of self-supported. I got dropped off. I had all my food with me and I was just going to try and do it in like 3 days. And I bailed at mile 70. Kentucky
Thinking
Camp.
of
That's-
photographing your adventure.
No, this
hard.
was completely on
See?
my own.
There you go. You were gonna nail it.
I guess I got to revisit it now.
Well, I mean, still time before Hardrock.
It's too damn hot right now,
nice
Matt.
Big training weekend.
Yeah, right
Too
now
damn
is not
hot.
the time.
And I think that area just burned too, the Canelo Hills.
Oh,
You see that?
no.
Yeah.
Oh,
Anyway,
not too surprised.
in between Parker Canyon and Patagonia. Yeah, a big area of that burned. So,
Dang.
all right. Well, I think we're going to wrap up this show. Thank you all for tuning in. Drop a comment. What should they comment? Just let us know if you like the show. I just need some validation here.
Yes, and maybe they're men's and women's winners for the 26K and the VK.
Yeah, let us know your picks and also go to the Fantasy Free Trail. Enter
Spoiler
it.
alert, Allie Mack for both.
Oh, snap. All right, we're going to wrap it up. We'll see you next week with Broken Arrow results and a deep dive into Western States.
It's going to be great.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.